Welcome back to another episode number 132 of the so-called Sports Analyst. Josh, how you doing?
Hey,
I think we're in both pretty good moods right now.
hey,
By the
I
attire,
just
by
got
both of us.
I just got done watching, like I said, Alfonso before the pod,
hmm
the most complete basketball player to ever live, and I will die by that. There's no better
Ethical
off,
hoops.
dude. Offensive end, he's arrived. He's arrived, and his name's Victor Wembanyama. Defensive end, we already knew he's probably the greatest to ever do it. But
hmm
in year three, I will die on the limb and say I just saw the most complete basketball player to ever walk the face of the planet.
I
In
mean,
game one versus Anthony Davis and Derek Lively made them look like practice squad players.
I mean, 40, 15, and what, 5 blocks, and then what, 2 steals and almost 5 assists, something along the lines. By the way, guys, this isn't a basketball pod. We just have to say what Wimby did. Yeah, what Wimby did. Shout out to Damon for being a Nuggets slash Rocket slash Spurs fan. Shout out to him, by the way. But also the Bulls, they got a dub today, Josh. So I'm feeling pretty good. Modestly pretty good. And without Kobe White,
Zero.
Josh. Yeah, 0 turnovers, which is crazy. But all right, before we start, find us on Twitch, Discord, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube under TSCSA or the so-called Sports Analyst. Whether you listen to this live or another day, we appreciate it. Make sure you share this to anybody that likes sports. But all right, like I said, this isn't a basketball pod, but just what we saw was some crazy stuff. We're gonna get an NBA pod soon, so make sure you guys check in for that. But NFL Week 8 predictions, and Josh finally got my second dub up on the board, and the tiebreaker was between the Giants and Broncos. Which, like I told you on Monday,
You were
I was
sweating.
scared. I was sweating. I was sweating. I was a little nervous. Josh is gonna go up 6-1 because this one I
Hey,
need to start getting some dubs in. So I got it.
good night, brother. Love
Good
you
night,
too.
Damien.
But I will say I did have a pull. It was one of the. I said it's
It
not going to
it was
matter
it
how
was a
good the
pull.
Denver Broncos defense is because the Giants don't have like a guy that you really have to care about, and that's going to be scary because Jackson Dart and the way Cam Scadaboo's playing right now, it doesn't matter.
No, you did call that. And at first when they were up 26-8, I was like, all right, I'm like at 6-1. Not looking good from this point forward. But I got some hope. I got some hope. That's all I needed. We just how you got momentum going, I'm getting momentum going too. But all right,
Mm.
let's get to this first Thursday night game. Vikings versus Chargers. 3-3 Vikings versus a 4-3 Chargers. Chargers are favored by 3.5. Over-unders 44.5, in which Joe All is going to come back. And their other starting left guard is coming back, which I'm not going to butcher his name. So, Josh, who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Chargers in this one. This is actually one that me and Fonzo were struggling to pick. We had to actually call each other and see, like, hey, who are you
Yeah, for
picking in
real.
this game? But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chargers after hearing the news of Joe Alt coming back and there was other starting linemen, and I think that's gonna do a lot of wonders for Justin Herbert, who has been dealing with terrible protection the last couple of weeks, and has definitely showed. But I do think Minnesota Vikings are a good team. I just feel like the Chargers right now just have more of a dynamic offense, and they Khalil Mack's getting healthier after coming back last week. So I'm gonna lean with the Los Angeles Chargers in this one.
Yeah, for the exact same reasons. And also, before, as far as like, we normally don't call each other to say, like, hey, who are you picking? We usually wait till Wednesday night and like just surprise each other with the picks. So that's how I knew this game. Like, we really didn't know. But I think Joe Alt, he definitely was that deciding factor. But as far as fantasy football guys, so obviously Justin Jefferson, you start Kamani Vidal as of right now. You start him because he is a running back one. Hassan Haskins, he is out. But Keenan Allen, Lad McConkey, QJ. But I'm I'm gonna try not to butcher his name, or actually, you say his name, Josh, because I don't know how to say his name properly, and you know
Or
exactly
Day
who I'm talking.
Gadsden.
Orenday Gaskin, the tight end from the Chargers. Very interesting after a great game last week. I know it
Hey,
was positive game
I've been
script.
calling it out the last for like 5 weeks already. I'm just
You
saying.
have.
I'm
It's
just
better to be
saying.
early. Just
Yeah, it's
early to
better
the
be
party.
early than
That's
too late. I was just
yeah.
early to the party, and he finally broke out, and I
hmm
regret not dropping Harold Fannin for him in one league. I own him in almost
What
every league.
except the one that I have him in.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. Like you had him already, and then Ryan drafted him in Dynasty. So it was kind of
Mm,
like, I mean, I couldn't get him in there when I
yeah.
started getting on the train, and then
Mhm.
like but in this one league, I was deciding between Fannin or Gadsden. I mean, Fannon's been good, so like it's not
Yeah,
a
Fannon's been
crazy
solid.
decision. But then this last past week, I was like, Fannin or Gadsden, Fannin or Gadsden, and I ultimately chose
Mm.
Fannin because Njoku went down, and I was like, okay, like Fannon's the way to go. And then I did not think Gadsden was gonna drop 30 points. Like the most I was
Yeah, I
thinking was
know.
like 12
Like
or
what,
13.
100 and he had
Dude, and then
112 yards and a tutter?
dude, it was insane. So yeah, if you have Gadsden, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, and it's for sure, like, if you don't have a Kittle, if you don't have a Kittle or you don't have, which I was surprised by Kittle's performance. We'll talk about that in a second. Kittle, I'm going blank on tight ends right now. Why can't I think of any other tight ends?
I just don't
If you
think
don't
if you don't have a if you have um obviously Brock Bowers is not playing. If you Trey McBride's not playing this week, um honestly,
Sam Laporte is
just
not playing
start
this week.
Gadsden. Just start
Yeah.
Gadsden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
just
start
start
him.
Gadsden.
But the only other real question mark, which after a great game last week, Jordan Addison, do you think he's in the must start territory now from this point moving forward?
I think he was in the must start. He was in the good flex play options even when he
Hmm.
came back. Like week one, I was gonna roll him out there. I just feel like he's
Hmm.
too good of a talent, too good of a receiver, first round talent out of USC.
Yeah.
So he's the way to go. Jordan Addison is,
Hmm.
and I do think that he is a start. He seems to have a connection right now with Carson Wentz for sure.
Yeah, I was just making sure that or actually, let me ask you this. This is on spot. So I have 5 flex spots. I have Jamar, Drake London, Lad McConkey, Abuka, and Pickens. Would you start Jordan Addison over any of those guys?
Hold on. Jesse texted me, asked me what a lock in is on the sleeper app for NBA
Oh,
basketball.
yeah,
Or wait till the next.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, that it was it was confusing at first, but after I looked at the first set of games from yesterday, it wasn't too confusing. But I don't know. I'm having a tough time. I'm having a tough time. Obviously, you don't replace Jamar Chase or Drake London or Pickens or Abuka. It really comes down to the others, the Lad McConkey or the Jordan Addison. So if you had to choose between those two right there, who who do you think you would choose between those? Because honestly, I'm torn.
Okay, repeat those guys again.
Just 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 Lad or Jordan Addison. I'm not taking Abuka, Pickens, Chase, or
It
London
just
out.
seems like Lads. If Quentin Johnston's playing, it just seems like Lads' usage just goes down, and I just
Yeah.
feel like now with Gadsden emerging, I feel like he's the odd man out for some reason. Like we saw Justin Herbert last game just go to Keenan Allen when in doubt every single
Yeah.
time. So
Mhm.
there's obviously that that whole career connection with
Mhm.
Keenan Allen
Yeah.
that he still goes to. Quentin Johnson being a deep threat and Gadsden being a tight end. Tight ends are quarterback's best friend. So
Mhm. Yep.
I feel like Lad, you still start him, but I like Addison more.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely not starting Lad over those 4 guys, Buka, Pickens, Chase, or Drake London. So he's definitely the odd man out. But all right, let's move on to these 12 o'clock games. No early morning games this time, so you guys could sleep in and don't have to worry about setting your lineups. Miami Dolphins versus Atlanta Falcons, 1-6 versus 3-3. Atlanta's favored by 7.5. Over under is 44.5 in this game. Who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm not going
no,
anywhere else
no
but
surprise
the
pick
Atlanta
here.
Falcons, bro. Like just lock it in, bro. I don't even got to explain myself.
Yeah, no, Atlanta Falcons. This is gonna be ugly right here. And start.
Y-
Okay,
Your only
we
hope is Devon Achin, and everyone knows that.
yeah, honestly. And okay, let me ask you this. We already know start everybody for the Falcons. The Dolphins defense is atrocious. But I just want to ask you, is Tyler Algier this week a must start? I know he's a running back too in this offense, but they're gonna be up so much that Tyler Algier is gonna get a lot of burn. So is he a
I don't
must
know
start?
about a must start. Like I'm not gonna go that far, but He's a he's a juicy risk. I'll say that.
You
Like,
say it's a risk?
hey, I'm just saying in the NFL, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get it. I've heard it. I've thought about it. I thought about it today.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said, he's still an RB2. Like, it's gonna take a lot for him to actually be relevant. And he could do
Mm-hmm.
it because he's a talented running back. If Bijan were to go down, I think Tyler Algier immediately becomes a league winner. But
Yeah.
let's just be a little safe with your plays now. Like, it just depends on the type of roster, how deep the rosters are. Like, you got to take all that into account. Like, you're definitely not starting them in a 10 man. Like, there's no possible. Like, you have
Yeah.
to have better teams than
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
And a 12 to 14, maybe. Definitely a 14, he's startable. But a 12 man,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be really considering it. I'd be thinking about it before I do it. But you know what I mean?
Then
Like, I still hold. If he goes off, then y'all shouldn't have listened to me. But if he does, if he doesn't, you're welcome.
well, let me ask you this. You know what? This whole pod is just gonna be me asking you who should I start? Tyler Algier or Kyle Monangai?
Mm. Bears have a good matchup too.
Mm-hmm.
High scoring, having to keep up. I feel like this would be a game where Monongai kind of doesn't get as involved.
That's
Like,
what I'm thinking too. That's what I'm thinking too.
so I would lead because I do think with Derrick Henry being with Lamar Jackson now, Zay Flowers, I think this is gonna be more of a shootout than we think it is gonna be. You know, like,
Yeah, I
and I think they're gonna trust in DeAndre Swift a lot more in those situations than Kyle Monongai.
yeah.
And plus, I think that means more big days for Roma Dunze and the guys and DJ
Did
Moore and yeah. So
yeah.
maybe I'd lean toward Tyler Algier this week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. See, that's what I was thinking. But all right, next game we have right here. The 0-7 New York Jets, which is the only team without a win, versus the 3-4 Cincinnati Bengals, which they're favored by 6.5. Over unders 44.5 in this ball game. Who are you taking?
As much as I would love to see the New York Jets beat the Cincinnati Bengals, the Bengals are going to go to 500 in this one. So
Mhm.
I think it's going to be quite easy. We saw what
Yeah.
that offense was able to do last week. This is the scary part about the New York Jets. Like, they're going to put sauce on the number one guy, which is Jamar Chase, like they've been doing all year. He's been shutting them down. Not going to shut down Jamar Chase, only going to contain him a little bit because Sauce Gardner is Sauce Gardner, you know? But
Yeah.
you can only slow down Jamar Chase. You're not Trey McDuffie. On the other side, who's guarding T. Higgins? That's just what I'm saying. Like, no one is guarding T.
Nobody.
Higgins. We've already seen what these number two receivers have been doing to the New York Jets all season.
Mhm.
So and then we saw Chase Brown get a little bit more on lock last week. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals easily.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals here easily. And also just a side story, Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, he said you can't be a head coach can't expect to be winning football games with quarterback play like this, which I don't know, sounds pretty freaking crazy to me to be dissing your quarterback one mid-season and he's still on your roster. So either Justin Fields is gonna have the game of his life he's gonna or I don't even think he's gonna start or he's gonna
If
do
Tyrod,
absolutely terrible.
if Tyrod doesn't play, he's gonna start it.
Yeah. No, but
But
obviously you
how do you
start
start
every
after doing that? Like, how do you play for a team after your owner just comes out and says something like that?
I I don't know. Well, he's gotten paid. He's gotten paid, so I don't know how many guarantees he had, but I'm just saying like I I I would possibly be petty about that. Like, all right, you over here dissing me
Here's
and
an
taking
interception.
digs at me. Yeah.
If
First
you want the ball,
interception of the
here you
year.
go.
Yeah. Nah, but all right, yeah, no. Taking the Bengals easily. Do you Garrett Wilson still out? Is Brees Hall? He's a clear start right here, right? For sure.
Easy matchup for Brees Hall right now this week.
Hmm.
I think he's gonna feast on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Hmm. Yeah, no, same. I think the exact same here.
But he
Obviously,
is
with the
dealing with an ankle injury. So I will say there's a chance that he could not play this game. So Isaiah Davis for
mm,
me would be a must start.
yeah, okay, okay. And then let me ask you one quick thing. Chase Brown looked a lot better against the Steelers last week, and he only had 10 carries, almost, or he did crack 100 yards. So, are you starting to buy back into the Chase Brown hype? As far as maybe not running back one like we were thinking mid-season, but like a solid running back two.
Yeah, I think he's a solid RB2 flex play right now. I mean, until we see it, we see it. But I do think this passing game opening up is looked a lot better for Chase Brown last week. I do
Mhm.
think that he definitely was one of the it was a plus to him to be able to have Joe Flacco come into this offense because it took a lot of pressure off stacking the box. And right now, I think honestly, like I'm not gonna say he's gonna be to where I thought he was gonna be at the beginning of the season, which where I was trying to get him in every league because he was just gonna be
Yeah.
that bell cow, which he was in the first game.
Yeah.
Like he was definitely a bell cow. But then once Joe Burrow goes down, that kind of ruins a lot of the things for you. So right now,
Mhm.
I do think that he's a safe that he feels good to put into your lineups
Yeah.
every week
Yeah.
from
I
now on.
agree. Mhm. No, but all right, let's get into this next game we have right here, which, man, all of these games, they're like almost touchdown favorites in every single one of them. The Cleveland Browns, who are 2-5 versus the Patriots with the opposite record, 5-2. New England's favored by 6.5 in this one. Over under is low scoring, 40.5 in this one. Who are you taking?
Yeah. The way Drake May's playing right now, I'm gonna pick Drake May more often than not. So I'm gonna go with the New England Patriots.
My bad. I was trying to get Bruno off my bed. But yeah, no, give me the New England Patriots right here. And much to go off of that point right there. Drake May, as of this year through 7 games, has played like a top 5 quarterback. And I really don't think anybody could really argue that. And the stats they show exactly that. So I think the Patriots offense is going to struggle a little bit in this game just because the Browns defense is so good, like we talk about every single week. But they'll manage to put up, honestly, maybe not over 24 points, but I think like 20 points, something like that. That'll be more than enough to
Yeah,
get
but
the
the
job
Browns won't
done.
be able to score on the Patriots. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think they will be able to as well. And also, this is another week I just want to talk about just quickly. These two
unless Quinshawn
rookie running
Judkins goes
backs.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're talking about
Quinshon Judkins versus Travion Henderson. Just the tell of two at the start of the season, it was two totally different outlooks on them. Just how it's looking now. It's would you have ever expected this midway through the season?
I think I think Quinshawn is not surprising. Like I think we knew the talent that he was. But I don't know if anyone expected to be this good this fast. I mean, it's kind of the same
Yeah.
point of Emeka Egbuka. Did we expect both of them to be this good this fast? Probably not. So
Yeah.
but as far as Travion Henderson, no one expected this. Not a single person expected this. Dude, I was drafting Travion Henderson in the third round in some leagues. I mean, a lot of people were. Like, he was
Yeah.
getting a lot of hype
I'm one of
going into the
those.
season. And just the utter, probably the biggest disappointment in fantasy football history. Like, it
Yep.
has to be up there. Like,
For sure.
just the pure, not even because of injury. Like, if it was because of injury, I'd be like, oh, damn, like, okay, it happens, but to be completely
There's been no flash.
phased out and not even getting burned, it's really surprising to me, especially having Fumble McGee over there, and I don't even know Jennings' first name getting more touches than you last week. So
Yeah.
it's just it's weird to think right now in Foxborough why they aren't giving the ball to Travion Henderson, but they're winning football games, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It's if they weren't winning football games, and it'd be a different story. But man, it's just sucks to see because I drafted Travion Henderson in a lot of leagues too, about 3 to 4 leagues. So it just sucks to see. But speaking of another rookie running back, Cam Scatterbo and the New York Giants go up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, opposite records, 2-5 versus 5-2. Philly's favored by 7.5. The over/under is 44.5. Will Philly get their revenge this time?
I think they will. I don't think Philly's going to lose 2 games to New York this year. And I feel like they'll definitely make a lot of adjustments, and and it just won't happen again. I just feel like divisional opponents always come back harder the second time around, and they're going to be at the link in Philadelphia. So I think it's going to be a very competitive game. Don't get me wrong, but I do think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to come out on top in this one. It just won't happen twice.
Yeah, I agree. I agree exactly with the same sentiments as you. And just maybe they found something with Jalen Hurts in the passing game. Again, I don't buy it, but I'm just saying a big maybe. I just want to see
They're barely
how this
finding it after
translates.
4 years, after
Yeah.
6 years, 5 years, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know. That's just one takeaway I want to see. And at this point, can Saquon get over 80 yards rushing on in a game? in a game? Can he get over 80 yards rushing? I think
It's just bad
that's
play
a
calling, bro.
yeah, that's just a bigger takeaway from this one. Can all the Eagles guys, because you see like with the Chiefs, with the Cowboys, well, even the Colts this year, all the top offenses, and I consider the Eagles a top offense. You see, there's games where both the rushing and the passing, fantasy football wise, they both explode, and we haven't seen that with the Eagles all year. It's been boom or bust the entire time. So that's more the story of this. Give me the Eagles, but yeah. So again, you start everybody on the Eagles. Is there anybody different? Is there a risky start you start on the Giants for the same three?
No, you keep rolling out with Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. I mean, and
Mhm.
Wandell Robinson. So I
Yeah.
don't think there's any Darius Slayton. I think he's a deep league flex play. Definitely comfortable starting him. He's gonna get a
Mhm.
lot of the big plays happening, but it's also he's coming back from injury, so maybe just wait one more week to see what happens. Theo
Yeah.
Johnson's getting a lot of red zone work, but still touchdown dependent. So
Mhm.
right now, just the three: Wandell, Cam Scatterboo, and Jackson Dart for me from New York.
Yeah, no, same here. But all right, let's go ahead and get on to this other 12 o'clock game right here. Buffalo Bills coming off of a bye versus the Carolina Panthers, in which the Panthers are undefeated at home right now. Bills are favored by 7.5, though. Over under is 45.5. Who's winning this game?
I
Also,
think
Bryce Young
Buffalo.
status unknown.
Yeah,
Unknown.
I,
So yeah.
I know the Red Rifle might play in this one, but I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I just think coming out the bye, they'll have adjustments ready to play versus Carolina. I think Buffalo historically out of the bye are like close to undefeated. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Buffalo Bills. They got Josh Allen. I think there's some things they have to fix passing the ball wise, and I think they'll make adjustments. And James Cook's been struggling a couple of games before that. This is a matchup where he can feast kind of on Carolina. I know they have a semi good run defense, but with the ability that Josh Allen has, you have to account for someone else in that backfield. So I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills, even though I think Carolina is gonna give them a fight.
Yeah, I agree on and same thing right here. Buffalo Bills very easily, but I think the Panthers, it's gonna look close on the scoreboard, but like actually watching the game, I think this is where you're gonna see the difference between just the two. And just like you're saying, coming off of the bye, and the Bills, they're a really physical team, but I think they're really gonna put their imprint of that on this Panthers game right here. And especially with what I don't know, Bryce Young hasn't been playing the best football and they've been winning. So I'm just saying,
I mean, I think
I'm
it
just
helps
saying,
when you
maybe
play two trash teams in a row and your running back goes for 250 scrimmage yards. So
yeah, it is very true. So I don't think Rico Dowdle would be able to do that. But all right, as far as fantasy football wise, with this, Rico is clearly the number one back. It's almost like somebody mentioned that last week on the phone. And
oh no.
I'm just saying he's still that number one back in my opinion. But any other crazy starts you have in this game? Because it's a bunch of it seems like it'll be a high scoring game, but it's a bunch of like spread out fantasy points across this game, if that makes sense,
Yeah, I
besides
think
James Cook.
Leggett is not a start. Like I think you're gonna
Mhm.
be very mistaken if starting him this week, and you're gonna be very disappointed at the end when he only has like 4 points on your starting lineup. But I would definitely start Ted McMillan. I do think he's gonna have a bounce back game versus Buffalo in this one. Coker, wait and see. I think he's a developmental thing. Like I think he has to come back from the injury, get equated back into the offense, and I think he'll be a full go maybe here in like 2 or 3 weeks, which is fully expected. And then as far as the other side for Buffalo, Keon Coleman.
It's
I just think it's getting close to droppable. Like I think if there's one
ooh,
more game where it
mhm,
ends up just terrible, like I might consider dropping him. And
yeah,
then so I'm not trusting it. Kincaid was looking good before he got hurt, and then now he's had time to recover on the bye. If he does play, Kincaid, you have to play.
yeah.
And then Khalil Shakir is going to give you that cool 9 points that if you're cool with that, he could probably possibly give you a little bit more. So, yeah, those are where I would lean towards right now.
Just make sure you guys clip it whenever Xavier Leggett and Keon Coleman both have legacy games. I just have a feeling you just did the ultimate reverse jinx. I just want to come back to this, but yeah, no, same agreements here. A bunch of agreeing is going to go on this episode, but maybe where we'll have a disagreement here. I'm just throwing this out here. Chicago Bears versus the Baltimore Ravens. 4-2 Bears versus the 1-5 Ravens. But Lamar Jackson's coming back. Baltimore is favored by 6.5. Over under is 48.5 in this ball game. Who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm taking the real Heisman on one side and Caleb Williams instead of the Baltimore Ravens Heisman. Both are Heisman. They don't count towards the one Heisman that
Yeah,
Caleb Williams
the
is.
true mighty. Yeah.
No, the second truest Heisman, not the first truest Heisman, because we all know who that
Yeah.
is. But um, yeah, so I think I'm gonna lean towards them. I do think that the Baltimore Ravens defense is atrocious. However, the Chicago Bears defense isn't that great either, but I do think they're better. And so I think they may come up with a couple stops that the Baltimore defense won't be able to do. And I think this is a bounce back game for the receiving core in Chicago. Like I don't think they played bad by any means last week. It was just product of game script being able to run the football. And so right now they can hit you in all ways. As far as on the
Mhm.
other side, I know they have that dynamic backfield and Lamar Jackson coming back healthy, so it's definitely going to be a tough matchup. But
Mhm.
my thing is, it's always the receiving core for me in Baltimore. Like I understand Zay Flowers had a big week in that first one, but really, where has he been ever since then? It's been pretty atrocious, and I just don't trust it right now. So I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears to win this game.
Man, I was pretty surprised. Honestly, I thought you were gonna take the Ravens with Lamar Jackson being back in the spread, but I guess we're both agreeing to the same thing. Give me the Chicago Bears. I'm the probably one of the few ones left, the Caleb Williams fans, the future GOAT. I think he's gonna have a show out game mostly because this Ravens defense is so bad. Even when some of these guys coming back, Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey, they still don't look like they once did. So yeah, give me the Bears here. Start everybody on the Bears. And like you were saying, I kind of agree with Kyle Monungai. He might not get the burn because DeAndre Swift has just been playing so great these past two games. Even though Kyle Monungai had a great game last week, it was more like garbage time work, in my opinion. But as far as with the Ravens, like you're saying, Lamar Jackson's back. Do you think there's any chance? I know you talked about the Ravens receivers. Do you think there's any chance that a receiver pops off, or maybe Mark Andrews he pops off?
Yeah, I think there always is. I think Zay Flowers is the guy that you lean towards and you look to for that, and it should be because he's the number one receiver there. And But the thing is, it's just so inconsistent. Like some games he pops off, some games he doesn't. And I would I would definitely count on it. If it were to be anybody, it would definitely be him. Mark Andrews just doesn't look like the same guy with the same type of burst that he used to have.
Yeah,
And it's kind of sad to see because he's one of the best tight ends of our generation. So it's
yeah.
like, but Zay Flowers is where you would look for a wide receiver to pop off in Baltimore's offense.
Yeah, no. But all right.
Um,
Let's go ahead and move on to this next game. We have a game where there's a close spread. San Francisco 49ers versus Houston Texans, in which this is in Houston. Houston's favored by 1.5. Over unders 41.5 in this ball game, in which Brock Purdy is most likely to play. I'm saying most likely because he's still on the fence. He's practiced some days. He hasn't practiced some days. So who are you taking, Texans or Niners?
Glock Purdy or Mac 10 don't matter. I'm going to San Francisco 49ers in this one. I just think the Houston Texans
Bro, still my
offense
joke.
just does not look consistent at all for me
Mhm.
right now. And San Francisco, even without Fred Warner, still look like a really good defense versus
Mhm.
Atlanta and on Sunday night. So I'm gonna continue riding the hot hand because I do think that even though they've lost a couple of games, they've been competitive in each and every single one of those games. Like they've definitely taken each team to the wire. And in San Francisco right now, I believe that their Juwan Jennings is getting healthier, and Ricky Pearsall is still questionable for this game. I doubt he plays, but Christian McCaffrey right now, I mean, it doesn't matter who's in front of him. He's just balling on. It's really Christian McCaffrey's either hurt or the number one running back in all of fantasy football. So
Yeah.
you're gonna go with San Francisco. You're gonna go with San Francisco until CMC does otherwise.
Yeah, no. Same sentiments here. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. And remember, Bracken and I, we told you, we said every other year, that's when McCaffrey pops off. He just has a gap year where it's just like he's just he's just taking a break pretty much at this point. It doesn't matter what happened the year before, whether it's a drastic injury or not, he's still gonna come back. And I think he's don't take my exact word, but I think he's eighth in receiving yards and almost has as many targets as JSN, which that's something to say. I know the receivers have been out, but that just shows how dynamic he really is. But yeah. And also another thing, Nico Collins. his status being pending. So with the concussion, so Jaden Higgins or Jalen Noel, who do you think will more likely have a better game? Well, I know you were raging Monday night with how the targets were going, but who do you think is going to have the better night or better day?
Braxton Berrios.
At this point, dude. At this point, that's probably what's going to happen. But all right,
Oh, Xavier
was that
Hutchinson.
honestly? Yeah, I probably be Xavier
And
Hutchinson.
I do believe that. Like, I kind of just do believe that
Oh my
it would be
goodness,
Xavier
there's
Hutchinson.
this is my bad. I was looking at these spreads right here. But all right, let's go and get onto the 3 o'clock games. The Bake Show, 5-2, versus the New Orleans Saints, who are 1-6. This is in New Orleans, but Tampa Bay is favored by 3.5. Over under is 46.5, in which Emeka Egbuka should be a full go. And there's no holdbacks in this game. Chris Godwin, I believe I'll double check. I'll double check in this one, but he is not expected to play in this one. Or is it showing right now? No, it's not showing right now, so he's not expected to play. But who are you taking in this game?
Okay, repeat that. Sorry, I was answering.
Commissioner
Commissions.
Duty. No, Saints or Bucks.
Saints or Bucks? I mean, come on, we're going Tampa Bay in this one. I don't even think you had to ask me. You could have just picked it for me. So I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay
Yeah,
Buccaneers.
the
New
Bake
Orleans
Show.
Saints, just not. I mean, yeah, it's New Orleans Saints, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, the Big Show. They need a big bounce back after last week. I think it was a lot of adjustment, a lot of game plan changing, especially when Mike Evans goes down and Mike Ibuka still came back from an injury. I'm not taking anything away from the Detroit Lions. I'm just thinking, hey, Tampa Bay had a rough one last week, and I do think this is a big bounce back game versus a division rival.
Yeah, I completely agree in this one. And I think this goes back to Emeka Egbuka, especially with Mike Evans. He's going to pretty much be out the entire season with the broken clavicle. So this goes back to him being wide receiver one on the Bucks. And fantasy football perspective, he is all the way up to the moon, and he can easily be a top 10 receiver the rest of the year. And as far as Rashad White, he still is a reliable back in this one. And as far as with the Saints, so we talked about Kendre Miller. So Chris Olave, we already know about him. Is Alvin Kamara back as a reliable starter in fantasy
I think
football?
definitely, yeah. I think he has to be the guy. Like, he has to get a lot of his touches back. There's Devin Neal's there, but do you really trust Devin Neal? If I'm Kellen Moore, I can't really speak for him, but I wouldn't. So
Mhm.
as of right now, until we see something, but who knows? I don't know what he's thinking. But if I'm looking on the outside looking in, Alvin Kamara is definitely a full go.
All I'm just saying is college football 25, Devin Neal and Jalen Daniels were demons with Kansas. You know about that. I played you a couple times in college football with that offense right there. You already know how stacked that was, but no,
Must be a
I
different
agree with
friend.
you. Alvin Kamara, he definitely is a flex or running back two situation in this. But all right, let's get to the 3 o'clock games right here. We'll get with the boring one before we get into the interesting one. 1-6 Tennessee Titans versus the 6-1 Colts, in which the Colts are favored by 14.5. This is the biggest. This is the biggest difference in the spread. Over under is 47.5 points in this one, which we know where most of these points are coming from. You know what? What's the score prediction for this one? We already know who we're picking. Let's make it a little interesting.
The score prediction, maybe like 28 to 6 or 9. 28, 27 to 9.
27-9. You don't think they crack 30?
Nah, I don't think they do. But
Mm-hmm.
as much as I would love to see Tennessee pull off the upset, I would definitely love to see that. But they're not. So that's where
Mm-hmm.
I'm going.
You just have to fake hate the Colts right now since they have the 1 seed. That
Mm-hmm.
never thought I would see you having to hate the Colts.
I
Never
have
thought I'd
nothing
have.
against them at
It's
all.
it's nothing personal. It's just
Just
record
that,
wise.
just the position they put themselves in. Right in my, right in my, right in my direction to hate on. So
Nah, give me the Colts
I have
here.
nothing bad to say about them either. Like,
Nothing. It's just honestly, I think they're the Vikings of last year. Honestly,
yeah, I can see
Sam
that.
Darnold, Daniel Jones, Justin Jefferson, Jonathan Taylor, great coaches. Great coaches, both on the same side. Solid defenses. I think that's what it is. But if I gave a score prediction, I say it'd be 31-10. That's probably what I say.
We're
31 to
around the
10.
same area, almost the
I
same.
yeah, I still think they crack 30 because as of right now, they have I don't know if you saw they have a better offense through 7 games than the 2018 Chiefs and the '07 Patriots. And I think it's like points per drive like 3.46. And the '07 Patriots is 3.10, which that point 30 is a big difference. That's a big difference in a possession. So
Hmm.
every drive, they're at least getting a field goal. So yeah, no. Give me the Colts in this one very easily. As far as starts, you're not really starting nobody on the Titans unless you have to, unless your commissioner forces moves Tajay Spears in your lineup for you. But as far as from the Colts side, Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Ward, Daniel Jones. Which wide receivers popping off this week? Josh Downs has been getting more burn or more
I mean,
targets.
yeah, he'll be back this week, so I think they move Pittman back to the outside possibly. So I think he was eating on the inside, but honestly, I'm not trusting anyone outside of Pittman. If I'm
Mhm.
being completely honest, maybe like you said, Josh Downs, but just hasn't been consistent enough. So I'm just gonna go stick with Michael Pittman, and hopefully I have someone better than Josh Downs to start.
Yep. I I would say I think Josh Downs gonna have a solid game in this one. I'm not saying like no like 25
Chiefs
points.
just need
I'll
to
say
go
like
back and trade for a Snead.
mhm, that's all they need. Get the band back
Just bring him
together.
home. Bring him home.
Yeah.
Because they
No,
have
but
good DBs. Like their DBs are I think are among one of the top graded
yeah,
positions.
and then
Just
Kenny
like
Moore too.
mhm.
And can't think of the other DB's name right now. Isaiah
Well,
Rogers? No,
I was talking
Isaiah
about
Rogers on the
Tennessee.
Viking. Oh, Tennessee. Oh, why was I thinking Travarius Ward because he was a former Chief?
Well, he's on the Colts.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was thinking of the other. I was thinking of the other side
Mhm.
right there.
But he's
No,
hurt.
but
He's on IR.
he got IR from that concussion from that tight end.
Hmm.
Damn, bro, knocked him out. Holy crap. No, but no, but all right. Let's go ahead and move on to this next game right here, the other 3 o'clock game. The Dallas Cowboys versus the Denver Broncos, in which Denver's favored by 3.5. Over under, let me double check, is once again the highest over under of the week because it features a great Cowboys offense and a terrible Cowboys defense. So, who are you taking in this one?
Yeah, you already heard my take on Monday about the most one of the most fraudulent teams in the AFC. So I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys in this one.
Yeah, no. Give me the Cowboys in this one. And okay, the I know technically Cowboys they're underdogs, but I was looking at the Vegas lines because I was talking with one of my other friends today. And as far as like Cowboys, the money line, they're favored. Everybody's taking their points. So Vegas is leaning towards Dallas here. And I think the biggest thing is okay, let me ask you this. If you're the Denver Broncos defense, who are you putting Pat Surtain on? Are you putting him on CeeDee Lamb? Are you putting him on George Pickens?
Maybe they put
So,
CD Lamb. Maybe they put him on CD Lamb, or they put him on George Pickens. Wipe out George Pickens and double team CD Lamb.
but if that's the case, then Fergie and Vontae are going to eat. So I'm just saying there's so many problems for this Cowboys offense. And okay, here's the formula the rest of the year. And I'm going to keep saying this every single time. The formula for the Cowboys defense is you get 2 stops and you get a turnover. And that's all you need to win the game. And also
That's
side
all you need.
storyline. Honestly, that's all you need from the Cowboys defense. And side story here. Brandon Aubrey may make a 70-yard field goal in this game. With the altitude and this that we might see some history here. A first 70-yarder made. That's all I'm saying. So, and also,
I
can
think
Bo Nix be a real
Cam Little
quarterback
technically made
outside the
one.
fourth? No, it didn't. It didn't count. Same way Brandon Aubrey broke the record in preseason, the year or last year in preseason. It was a 68-yard field goal. So I'm not gonna
Right.
count it. I'm not gonna count it. But yeah, no. Can Bo Nix be a real quarterback outside of the fourth quarter? I think if he does that, they're going to be down too much. And I think the Giants, if the Giants offense ate against this Broncos defense, I think the Cowboys are going to easily score over 30. That's the thing. Can Bo Nix score over 30? Can Bo Nix score 31 points in this ball game? That's gonna be the number. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be a really good matchup. Give me the Cowboys here. And this is where everybody starts in this ball game, right? Fantasy football wise.
Sutton, Dobbins, even Knicks. Sutton, Dobbins, Knicks. There's no really Evan Ingram maybe. I don't know,
Yeah,
but on Cowboys, picking CD, Javonte, Fergie, Dak. No
yeah, you
questions
you s-
about it.
you start the whole band. But all right, let's get to the Sunday night football game in which we have the Green Bay Packers, who are number one in the NFC, 4-1-1, versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 4-2, kind of had a mini bye after a loss to the Bengals. Green Bay is favored by 3.5, though, even though on the road. Over under is 44.5 in this ball game. Who are you taking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Green Bay. I think this is where Pittsburgh starts to struggle. They have a tough, their easy part of their schedule is over with now, and I do think that playing against this pass rush and this run stopping crew, they're going to struggle quite a bit to get the ball into Jalen Warren's hands and have it consistently. And then plus, we already know how I feel about DK Metcalf on this podcast, so I'm gonna go with the Green Bay
Yeah,
Packers.
yeah. Give me the Green Bay Packers in this one. And one thing is that the Packers defense, they're starting to get rolling in this one. You saw how dynamic Micah was last week, 3 sacks. So I think that they're gonna start to get the ball rolling here defensively. Maybe they don't score the most points right here, the Packers offense, just because the Steelers had an embarrassing outing defensively. So I think they'll show up a little bit better for this game, especially in a prime time stage. But yeah, no, give me the Packers in this one. As far as starts in this ball game, we know you have to start DK Metcalf because where you drafted him. Jalen Warren, we know you have to start him. A Rod, and but as far as from the Packers side right here, who's gonna be the receiver that don't say Tucker Craft? Don't say Tucker
Mm,
Craft. We already know Tucker Craft and Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love. If you had to pick a receiver, not that we're saying start him.
Matthew Golden in this one.
hmm You think he finally pops off in this one?
I
Yeah,
think he has
that
like 4 catches.
honestly, yeah, 4 catches, 64 yards, something like that.
Yep.
But all right, let's go ahead and get on to Monday Night Football game, in which it's the Washington Commanders versus the Kansas City Chiefs, 3-4 versus 4-3, in which Jaden Daniels isn't playing. Mariota starting. Kansas City is favored by 12.5 in this ball game. Over under is 46.5. Who are you taking, Josh?
I mean, come on, dude.
Upset?
Kansas City Chiefs. No questions. I mean, y'all, if you're brand new here,
Yeah. If you guys aren't watching this, you could tell by the Chiefs Kingdom thing at the bottom. But yeah, no. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs here. And I think, okay, Rashee Rice, yes, he did have 2 touchdowns last week. But I think this is the game like where he pops off as far as yards wise. Because he had the catches. He had 7 catches, if I'm not mistaken, for like 40 something yards. But I
mm-hmm.
think this is where yards wise against a bad commander secondary, where they're gonna really start eating. And I honestly, I don't feel comfortable starting anybody on the Commanders here,
Me either.
fantasy
Like
football wise.
JCM's gonna be chopped.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And obviously, Chiefs, you start everybody. You start Worthy. You start Rasheed. You start you start Pacheco. You start Mahomes. You start Kelsey.
I would
Every
start Pacheco. I feel more comfortable starting Brashard Smith than I do Tyler Algier this week.
mm, no pun intended, but everybody's gonna eat this week. Everybody's gonna eat. No, but all right. Well, we got through predictions pretty quickly, and I think this is the first time ever we've been doing this for 3 years. We didn't have no disagreements at all. So
Pretty
we're gonna
easy
have
week
to
to pick.
we're gonna have to come up with something as far as a disagreement, or we could get risky and roll into next week for double points.
Hmm. Looking at matchups real quick on college football.
I was looking at college football before. I mean, there's Ole Miss and Oklahoma, but I already know who I'm leaning towards there.
How
There's
about you
Missouri.
take Oklahoma State and I take
Oh,
Texas
okay.
Tech?
And no, I'm not gonna do that again after Utah failed me.
We're
That
minus 38 and a half.
Yes, dude. Yes,
That's got to be the most in college football this weekend, dude. It is. Holy,
it is.
they're just expecting Texas Tech just to redeem themselves from last week, big time,
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I'd hope so. After
dude. If
man,
Baron Morton played
just
last week, oh my gosh, but it's okay. It's okay. I think we're still in the race. All
y'all,
we got to do is
y'all,
win out. All we got to do is win out.
y'all should be able to win out.
We
Should
just got to beat BYU.
that's BYU would be the toughest test, but I think for some reason just the Tech offense fell off last week. Just 22
Backup
points, I
quarterback.
think. Oh man, just tough, man. It's just tough because just in college football, every game you have to win every game. It's not like NFL where you could lose a game and like, oh no, well they didn't have their backup quarterback in. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, but but no. So you decide we could do fantasy points. We could do I guess a college football game, which I don't feel confident in any of them, or we could roll it into next week.
I was, mm, Want to do the score of the Dallas? No, I'm not. Let's just roll it into next week.
Roll it into next week. Okay. I know everybody's probably listened to this episode. Probably they probably all let or held high and dry just because we're gonna roll into
This
next
is the
week. But
first
nope, we're gonna
tie.
do
This is the first tie.
we got a tie before the games even started. So all right, well let me roll over into next week. And all right, just this is just for fun right here. This is just for fun. Who's gonna have the biggest fantasy football day out of any player throughout the entire week? Any player.
Any player.
I'm still surprised that was crazy. I did not expect that. Trying to look throughout the entire league.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, still nobody in fantasy football has gone over 40 points besides Trey Tucker. Still in the entire NFL.
Dream Deek. Just kidding.
Oh. Titans?
I'm gonna
Does he play
go
for the Titans?
I'm gonna go with Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase?
Okay. No. I'm gonna go with
looking around.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan?
Yeah.
You know what? Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I thought I was gonna do it. Nah. Just give me Jonathan Taylor here.
Honestly. Give me Woody Marks. I'm just kidding.
Woody Marks, running back one, or no. You know what? I'm trying to think. Is there going to be any competitive game where somebody just goes off?
Quinshawn.
You know what? Sounds crazy. Give me my GOAT Dak. Give me my GOAT Dak for week 1. I don't care how good the Broncos defense is. I'm still taking my GOAT Dak. I don't care, but all right, Josh.
We can pick quarterbacks?
Yeah, I was saying anybody. That's what I was saying. Anybody.
Oh, give me Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we do Dak and Mahomes. Definitely not a biased podcast at all. But
again.
But yeah. Oh yeah, we did do that a couple weeks ago. But all right, Josh. Any last words before we get out of here?
Good night.
Yes. Good night indeed.
Oh, and go Spurs, go Wimby. Oh
my gosh. No. Just shout out to the Bulls for winning the close game. We finally won our first week or day 1 game in like 3 or 4 years. So just shout out to the Bulls. All right, before we get out of here, find us on Twitch, Discord, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube under TSCSA or the so-called sports analyst. Whether you listen to this live or another day, we appreciate it. Make sure you share this to anybody that likes sports.